great people whom I've had a chance to work with. So I actually feel quite grateful for all of that.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 26th Annual Awards Ceremony of the Nokia Foundation. My name is Hannu Kauppinen, and I'm the Chairman of the Nokia Foundation and Chief Technology Officer of Nokia Technologies. It is my pleasure to host this ceremony, which we are conducting for the second time virtually from the studio here in Espoo, Finland. In a moment, I will hand over to Nokia's President and CEO, Pekka Lundmark, who will deliver a keynote speech of Nokia's new 2030 technology vision. But let me first quickly take you through the agenda for today's event. First, I will introduce the Nokia Foundation's mission and its activities today. After we have heard from Pekka, I will present the scholarship and grant receivers of this year. Then, our chair of the Nokia Board of Directors, Sari Baldauf, will announce the recipient of the 26th Nokia Recognition Award. We will then hear another keynote from the winner of the Nokia Foundation Recognition Award. At the end of the event, I will facilitate a panel session where I will be joined by Sari, Pekka, and our Recognition Award winner. During the panel, we will discuss important themes in technology research and education and answer questions we have received from some of you beforehand. The Nokia Foundation was established in 1995 to promote and sponsor scientific research and education in the field of information and communication technologies in Finland. Multidisciplinary research that bridges approaches from other fields like social, behavioral, business, and service sciences is highly valued. The Nokia Foundation carries out its mission by providing scholarships, grants, awards, and other forms of financial support for this work and publishing the results of the resulting research. Currently, the Nokia Foundation has the following 4 programs which implement the purpose and mission of the foundation. First, we have the Nokia Scholarships program. Grants in this program are awarded to individuals pursuing doctoral degrees in information and communication technology or in supporting scientific disciplines. Secondly, the Jorma Ollila Fund and Program. Grants in this program are directed to recently graduated doctors looking to further develop their research career through international experience. This year, we received exceptionally good applications and awarded a large number of grants under the program, as we will see later this evening. The Visiting Professor program enables distinguished foreign professors to work in Finland or Finnish professors to work at respected foreign universities. And the Fulbright Nokia Distinguished Chair program is a unique opportunity for American scholars to engage in research collaboration at a Finnish Institute of Higher Education. Last year, we also launched a pilot program with the Institut Français de Finlande, in which we invited a French scientist to visit a Finnish university, strengthening the collaboration between research institutions of our 2 countries. And finally, today, for the 26th time, we will announce our annual Nokia Foundation Recognition Award, which celebrates individuals who have made significant and lasting contributions to the advancement of information and communications technologies in Finland. Since its inception in 1995, the Nokia Foundation has awarded 1,596 Nokia scholarships, which represent more than 7.5 million euros in value. In addition to this, we have also sponsored almost 2 million euros worth of international collaboration by postdoctoral researchers and professors. And in total, the Nokia Foundation has provided more than 10 million euros of research funding. Let's now take a look back and see what impact we have been able to achieve with some of our programs during the past year. We'll first hear from Professor Mikko Möttönen from the Aalto University in Espoo, Finland, who received the Nokia Foundation Recognition Award in 2020. Mikko, can you tell us about the advancements in your quantum technology research over the past year?
Thank you, Hannu. Well, let's go to see what we are doing in the lab. So, for the past year, we've been working really hard, measuring quantum processors, parameters, and now you will see when the quantum computer is open. So let's see. So we have 2 of our group members here changing the quantum processor into the quantum computer. And you will see nice shiny golden plates here. And at the very bottom, the temperature is very close to absolute 0 when it's operating. Now it's of course just room temperature. So we can change the processor, put it back in, put back the shields, and make it run. And when it runs, it gives this annoying noise. So of course, thinking about that. Well, it's been a great year, and thank you Nokia Foundation for the Recognition Award last year, and I'm excited to see who gets it this year. Thank you.
That's great to hear, Mikko. I hope to see the first quantum computer in Finland in operation in a few years' time. Next, I'm asking Professor Jean-Emmanuel Broquin from the University of Grenoble, France, to tell us about his visit to the University of Eastern Finland in Joensuu, where he conducted research of photonics on a glass substrate. Over to you, Jean-Emmanuel.
Thank you, Hannu. Greetings from Grenoble, France. I am Jean-Emmanuel Broquin from the Institute of Engineering and Management of the University of Grenoble. I am talking from my optics lab, where I'm currently characterizing the samples that I brought back from my 4-month stay at the University of Eastern Finland in Joensuu. I would like to thank both the Nokia Foundation as well as the Institut Français de Finlande for supporting my visit to Finland. In addition to that, the University of Eastern Finland, Matti Russe, Seppo Onkänen, and Jyrki Saarinen, and all the research and administrative staff there get my gratitude for hosting my visit. Finnish people are not talking much, but they are performing excellent. Thanks to this program, I started long-term collaboration not only with the UEF, but also with Aalto and Tampere universities. And I would like to thank Laetitia Petit and Sun Shipe for their dynamism and their positive impact on starting these researches. Finally, I believe that the Nokia Foundation Institut Français de Finlande Chair of Excellence is an excellent way to build research collaboration between Finland and France. The links that have been created this summer are strong. As a proof of it, I will come back this winter, not for skiing, your mountains are not tall enough, but for giving a conference, and I'll come back in May 2022 for teaching. So once again, kiitos. Thank you for everything.
Merci, Jean-Emmanuel. It's nice to hear that we were able to strengthen the collaboration between the two universities in Finland and France. And by the way, did you know that the United Nations has declared year 2022 as the Year of Glass? You'll then hear much more about the use of glass in high-speed electronic components for applications in information and communication technologies. Today, we will be awarding many young doctoral students. The Nokia Foundation promotes contacts between researchers and Finnish companies, including the Nokia Corporation. There are multiple benefits from employing recently graduated PhDs, offering graduate opportunities for the researchers and access to the new talent for Finnish companies, and technology and idea transfer from fundamental academic research to industrial R&D. We'll come back to this theme later. Today, you will also hear about the many fields of ICT that Nokia Foundation is supporting, including, for example, 6G communication systems and artificial intelligence. As a foundation, we want to focus on creating impact. At every funding decision, we always ask ourselves, what really matters to our society and economy in the coming decades? Which problems can we help to solve? Climate change, global pandemics, cybersecurity, or ethical use of artificial intelligence? Where is the need and the demand for funding? We'll also come back to this theme later. Now, let me introduce to Pekka Lundmark, Nokia's President and CEO, who will deliver this evening's keynote speech. Pekka, welcome on stage.
Thank you, Hannu. And thank you to everybody for joining us today. I would like to start by congratulating all of the Nokia scholarships and Jorma Ollila grant recipients. Well deserved and well done. It's great to be able to speak to you today, the innovators, the people who dare to dream big, because technology is really about ideas, and ideas take courage. It takes courage to ask how we can improve something, how we can anticipate future needs and help build a better world. As a business, Nokia is always focused on meeting the day-to-day needs of our customers, but it is equally important we invest in long-term innovation. Over the past 26 years, the Nokia Foundation has had a proud record of investing in the next generation of innovators through scholarships, grants, and awards. And while we always hope that some of those innovators will want to come and work for Nokia, it's about more than just us. It's about using the power of technology and mobilizing our collective talents to address the big global challenges from climate change to unequal access to work, healthcare, and education to stalling productivity. Or, as we say at Nokia, it's about creating technology that helps the world act together. So let's talk about Nokia's technology vision. And I will do this in two parts. First, there are day-to-day needs, the immediate tech trends and how Nokia is responding to them. Second is our longer-term tech vision to 2030 and beyond, and how we want to lead those changes. So first, let's talk about three trends we are seeing today: next generation connectivity, connected digital enterprise, and network evolution. We saw the pandemic created a huge demand for better connectivity in communities and businesses. Traffic growth continues to be strong, especially in upstream, driven by cloud collaboration and video conferencing tools. In a post-pandemic world, sustained network traffic growth could be good news for the environment. More connectivity means more efficient public services, more accessible healthcare, and fewer unnecessary journeys. Just take the last opportunity as an example. Over 20% of global CO2 emissions come from transportation, with the daily commute playing a big role in all this. CO2 emissions from transportation dropped by 15% in 2020 as lockdowns kept people away from their offices. Next generation connectivity is about both mobile and fixed networks, 5G and fiber working together to give people the fast, secure and reliable access they need for remote working, virtual learning, digital healthcare, and a whole host of other applications in a digital world. The second trend is towards connected digital enterprise, and this has also been accelerated by the pandemic. Digitalizing enterprises improves safety, productivity, and agility. Also, every euro invested in digitalizing business improves resource efficiency, reduces waste, and ultimately brings us closer to a manageable 1.5-degree warming scenario. And we still have a long way to go. We estimate that roughly 70% of the global economy is still undigitalized. Private wireless networking is the most obvious way for industries to digitalize. And we are supporting customers across a range of industries to do exactly that. The third trend is cost per bit. And this is a key point for our customers and one that is being addressed largely through network evolution. There is a strong focus on cost-performance ratio. Telecom operators want to drive performance through expanded capacity and coverage, and they want to do it at the best cost. And not only the cost of equipment, but the cost of installation, operation, and maintenance. This is where energy efficiency is a win-win, reducing cost while increasing sustainability. The total cost of ownership is also a big factor in network automation, software agility, and more software-driven networks. Just this month, we launched a number of new software-as-a-service offerings for our CSP customers to meet the changing needs of the market. That's the short term. Let's now take a longer view and look at the changes we expect to see as we move from the 5G era to 5G advanced and then onto the 6G era. By 2030, we expect two of the biggest drivers of network evolution will be human augmentation and digital physical fusion. Human augmentation is about highly immersive experiences and enhanced human-computer interfaces, allowing humans to become a part of the internet, not just users of it. We are increasingly moving away from the two-dimensional screen to devices driven by augmented reality and virtual reality. In coming years, you will see more and more augmentation of the human body with biodigital interfaces, exoskeletons, and many other innovations that will help people with disabilities or medical conditions. Digital physical fusion is a separate but connected topic. Practically speaking, digital physical fusion means that by 2030, every physical thing that it makes sense to connect digitally will have been connected, enabling applications like digital twins where it may be hazardous for humans, like in some mining environments. Both of these trends will create a whole set of new applications and expectations for future networks. Expectations on performance, reliability, and security. 75% of data will be processed and analyzed at the edge by 2025, according to Gartner. That means over 100 gigabits per second, a millisecond latency, even higher reliability in special cases, and gigabit speeds wherever it's needed. This will lead to network evolution in three main ways. First, extreme performance specialized networks where the most stringent industrial applications are served by specialized private networks engineered for lowest latency and highest reliability. There are 15 million industrial campuses in this world, and we believe that one way or another, the majority of them will invest in new generation communications networks in the coming years. Second, network of networks. Many layers within and across networks, including macro, ultra-dense small cell, and non-terrestrial networks, working cohesively to provide a new level of ubiquity, performance, and reliability, which emerging applications will require. And third, network as a service. Networks consumed dynamically and as a service, similar to cloud services. By the end of 2023, we expect to see release 18 of 3GPP, or as we prefer to call it, 5G Advanced. This version of the 5G evolution will develop 5G to its fullest capabilities and will act as a stepping stone to 6G. You can see some of the use cases highlighted here. Video, of course, is not new, but what is changing is the huge improvement in performance and quality, and the way we consume it. We also expect substantial improvements in positioning and localization accuracy. In the future, signals transmitted by 5G base stations will enable connected devices to be located with centimeter-level accuracy, not only outdoors, but also indoors where satellite signals are unavailable. Building networks to support human augmentation and digital physical fusion, as well as the digitalization of enterprises in general, will require a completely new level of collaboration between the network and the cloud. Enterprises are already drawing on public cloud and hybrid cloud efficiencies, but stringent latency requirements mean that centralized public clouds are not going to be enough. What is needed is a flexible approach between centralized, edge, and on-premise clouds interconnected by agile networks. This requires collaboration and investment in both the network and the cloud. When we talk about network evolution from 5G to 6G, digital twins are a good example of how technology will mature. We are already using digital twins with 5G. With 6G, the range of applications will expand, as will the sophistication and scale. 5G Advanced will be the bridge, delivering an improved experience for humans and machines with new interactive use cases such as extended reality and cloud gaming, important enablers for the metaverse. 5G Advanced will act as a springboard to 2030 and the 6G era, where holographic video calls are everyday events and networks have a sixth sense, sensors bringing awareness of people, objects, and environment to create a mirror of the physical world, thereby extending our senses to every point the network touches. Combine this information with artificial intelligence and machine learning, and it will provide new insights from the physical world, making the network more cognitive. And ultimately, it will unlock a whole new raft of innovations, most of which we haven't even dreamed of yet, and where people like you come in. So these are all exciting trends, and it's a really exciting time to be a tech innovator. There is just one more thing I would like to mention before I hand back to Hannu. All of these trends, both short-term and long-term, overlap with the critical issue of the environment. There is no green without digital. And as we saw at COP26, the world has got a heck of a lot to do by 2030 if we are going to get anywhere near the best case scenario of 1.5 degrees warming. Technological innovation especially is going to be crucial. We need to invest in innovation. We need to invest in the people who dare to dream big. We need to invest in people like you. Thank you.
Thank you, Pekka, for those insights on how Nokia creates the technology that helps the world to act together. Let's now proceed with the announcement of this year's grants. Our tradition has been to thank the Nokia Foundation board members for their valuable work in providing their expertise and guidance to the management of the foundation. Thank you, Vice Chairman Professor Jukka Manner, Aalto University, Dr. Kimmo Hätönen, Nokia Bell Labs, Professor Petri Myllymäki, University of Helsinki, Professor Arno Pärssinen, University of Oulu, Dr. Jukka Rantala, Nokia Technologies, and Professor Mikko Valkama, Tampere University. In 2021, the Nokia Foundation received altogether 195 grant applications through our grant application system. Approximately 1/4 of the applicants were female and 3/4 were male. The foundation decided to support 50 of these applicants, and 25% of the grant recipients were female and 75% were male. The nationalities of the grantees represent Europe, including Finland, Asia, Africa, and South America. In 2021, Nokia Foundation donated over 430,000 euros in grants and awards. The Nokia scholarships for the postgraduate students can be up to 6,000 euros, and the Jorma Ollila grants up to 23,000 euros. In 2021, Nokia Foundation awarded 41 Nokia scholarships to postgraduate students pursuing a doctoral degree in information and communications technology. Let's now see all of them in the following video. asked two of them, Luca Ferranti from University of Vaasa and Rodrigo Borges from Tampere University, to send us short video greetings. Luca and Rodrigo, can you say a few words about yourself and how your research will change the world?
Hi there, I am Luca Ferranti and I'm a PhD student at the University of Vaasa. My research focuses on computational methods for efficient and reliable positioning. Position is fundamental in several applications, for example, autonomous vehicles or robotics. Moreover, we often require very accurate positioning in very challenging environments. And this is a very computationally challenging problem. Particularly, my research focuses on exploring advances in branches of mathematics, such as algebraic geometry, to propose new approaches to tackle this problem, to lead to new methods to solve these problems efficiently and reliably.
Hello everyone, my name is Rodrigo. I am a PhD candidate at Tampere University in the Department of Computer Science. In the last years, we have been working developing fair algorithms for recommendation. And by fair, we mean algorithms that don't discriminate any group of people and don't propagate any kind of prejudice. We would like to thank Nokia Foundation for supporting our project, and see you soon.
Thank you, Luca and Rodrigo. It's great to hear your enthusiasm. In addition to this, the Jorma Ollila Fund awarded 9 grants to support recently graduated doctors to further develop their research careers. Let's see who they are and which work they do in the following video. Let's now hear from Juuli Lumivalo from University of Jyväskylä and Chucheng Wang from Aalto University Espoo about their work and how it will change the world.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Juuli Lumivalo, and I'm currently working as a postdoctoral researcher at the Faculty of Information Technology in University of Jyväskylä in central Finland. I'm ever so grateful to receive the Jorma Ollila grant toward my research on co-creating sustainability value using green information systems that we're currently starting with my collaborators, Professors Jan Recker and Till Böhmann from University of Hamburg in Germany. Sustainable transition is an imperative not only with respect to the environment, but also in terms of social and economic well-being. And the underlying goal of my research is to develop insights for innovative applications of technologically advanced services that can ultimately support individuals as well as organizations realizing and achieving their sustainability goals and ease individual users' transition toward more climate-friendly behavior. Thank you.
My name is Xucheng Wang. I'm now doing postdoctoral research in Aalto University in the group of Professor Sergei Chetelkov. My research project is a space-time match surface for 6G wireless communications. As we know, when wave radiates on a planar surface like a building wall, it will be reflected. But the reflection angle is always equal to the incident angle. This has a huge problem in wireless communication because only the mobile device at the specular direction can receive maximum signals. In my project, I will explore a magic surface which is called match surface After covering the met surface on the walls, the incident wave will be directed to an arbitrary direction. The refraction direction can be controlled by engineering the space-time property of the met surface. With this smart met surface, we can imagine in our future building, signal from the met surface will smartly avoid the walls and furniture and reach our mobile device with maximum signal strength. This is the main idea of my project. Thank you.
Thank you, Juuli and Chu Cheng. I wish you an exciting journey to your host universities, and I hope you will return to Finland with valuable knowledge and contacts. Now, I would like to acknowledge Professor Aditya Johri from the George Mason University, USA, and Professor Patrick Crawley from Washington University in St. Louis, USA, who have visited Finland during this year in the Fulbright Nokia Distinguished Chair Program. And also Professor Enrique Miranda from Universitat Autónoma de Barcelona, Spain, who visited Finland in our Nokia Foundation Visiting Professor Program. We hope that the traveling will become easier next year and that many more professors will be able to come to Finland as part of the Nokia Foundation's Visiting Professor Program. Congratulations to all the scholarship and grant receivers of the year 2021. It was very inspiring to read your high-quality applications and to see the strength of ICT research in Finland. For those of you who were not successful, better luck next time. I wish all you who are pursuing your PhD degrees every success and look forward to hearing more in the future about how your work has delivered the key enabling technologies for 6G and other important research areas. The highlight of our annual awards ceremony has always been the announcement of the Nokia Foundation Recognition Award, which celebrates individuals who have made a significant and lasting contribution to the advancement of information and communication technologies. In earlier years, we have recognized, for example, Linus Torvalds, the inventor of the Linux operating system, and Jimmy Wales, the founder of Wikipedia, to name a few. You can find more information about all the 25 previous recognition award winners from our webpage www.nokiafoundation.com. This time, I have the honor to ask our chair of the Nokia Board of Directors, Sari Baldauf, to announce the recipient of the 26th Nokia Foundation Recognition Award. Sari, welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Hannu. My pleasure. Nokia Foundation has granted the 2021 Recognition Award to Professor Yrjö Neuvo for his achievements in the development of postgraduate education. Each year, more than 1,800 doctors graduate from Finnish universities. Compared to countries like Sweden, Germany, and USA, the employment of doctors in industry is low in Finland. Promoting the postdoctoral employment in companies is crucial for the long-term competitiveness and strategic renewal of Finnish companies. Nokia Foundation recognizes the outstanding achievements of Professor Yrjö Neuvo in the development of postgraduate education and collaboration with the companies in Finland. Of special merit, we wish to note the establishment of the PostDoc, or Postdocs for Companies, program for postdoctoral researchers, and the BitBank course for the postgraduate students. Yrjö Neuvo has pursued his long and successful career in 3 stages. First, he was a professor of digital signal processing at the Tampere University of Technology, where he conducted research into signal processing and founded postgraduate education in this field. Then he joined Nokia Corporation as the Chief Technology Officer, establishing an undisputed technology leadership and fostering a strong culture of the innovation in the company. Today, Nokia Foundation wishes to recognize Yrjö Neuvo for his achievements during this third career as a research director at the Aalto University in Finland, where he worked in close collaboration with postgraduate students and companies. Hannu, could I have the diploma? Yrjö, my heartfelt congratulations to you for the great work you have done for all of us. And were it not for Corona, I really would like to hug you. Congratulations.
You,
Congratulations, Yrjö.
thank you.
And thank you, Yrjö. And next, we will hear Yrjö's Nokia Foundation Recognition Award winner speech. Please, Yrjö, stage is yours.
Thank you. First, I want to thank Nokia Foundation for this recognition. It was really a big surprise to me. I will now briefly describe the two programs that I have created to educate doctoral students and to advance industry-academia cooperation. The statistics published this year tell that the number of doctors employed by the private sector is growing. On this slide, I have only the ICT and engineering numbers. At the same time, the relative share of international doctors is steadily increasing. And also, which we don't see here, is that the number of doctors employed by the public sector is quite steady, not growing. But despite of these positive developments, the share of doctors working in the industry is still small in Finland if compared with countries like Sweden, Germany, and United States. Now I go to the Bitbank courses, the first course that I started. We organized altogether 9 courses, first in 2007, and altogether about 230 students passed the course. These are the key objectives of the Bitbank courses: prepare doctors for working life, increase employment in industry, and increase industry-academia cooperation. The course itself was a 1 academic year-long, cross-disciplinary, and very intensive teamwork exercise. On this slide, we have the key learning objectives: multidisciplinary collaboration, global perspective, industry and business foresight, scenario building, and depth and breadth of our knowledge. The course itself consisted of textbooks, distinguished guest lectures, and team writing a book about 270 pages on the theme of the course. And this is the highlight of the course, I believe, 1 week's intensive study tour to Asia or USA. We have been on the East Coast and West Coast of USA and a number of countries in Asia. And this is really the course is an adaptation of Nokia's Panorama Management Training Program. Here's an example from Bitbank 4. The theme of the year was Future of Internet, and it was 2011 to 2012. We made a study tour to Tokyo, and I will now show some chapters from the book, The Future of Internet, as an example what we have been doing. There's one chapter titled Are We All Criminals? Then another one, Proliferation of Crowdsourcing Phenomenon, Gamification of Life, the Rise of Gaming and its Effects on Society, and How to Control the Internet, a Complexity Perspective. And then there are 4 more chapters which I don't show here today. BitBang 8 course, 2016, made a study tour to Korea. Here are some photos from Korea. We had 25 students covering all Aalto schools. Here is a picture of one quite important presentation that we got during that visit: Science, Technology and Innovation Policy and Korean Development. This is a picture of a lab where they developed a virtual actor as a replacement of the real one. The virtual actor is on the right-hand side, the man, and the real actor we don't see that much, but it was quite impressive. We also visited some Finnish companies operating in Korea. This picture is from Wärtsilä that makes diesel motors and services them. They are mainly used in ships. Some closing remarks of the BitBang courses. The feedback is extremely positive, even though the course is quite heavy for the students and actually also for the teachers. How did we select the students? In addition to a formal application, CV type of text, we asked the applicants to write a short paragraph describing why this course would be valuable just for the applicant. And actually this turned out to be pretty interesting selection criteria, one short chapter. The other program, postdocs in companies. Podoko is a matchmaking program supporting long-term competitiveness and strategic renewal of companies and employment of young doctors in the private sector. The program has been operational now for 6 years. A typical Podoko project lasts 2 years and consists of a letter of intent first, that the doctor and the company agree on a certain project, and then the implementation starts with 1 year research phase covered by the foundation. And after that, there is a 1 year targeted development phase covered by the company. We have 11 foundations who participate, and one can say that all fields of research are covered in the Podoko program. For more information, I recommend looking at the web pages. Here is one randomly selected list of Podoko applications. You see the company name and you see the discipline. The title of the project we don't show here. But as you can see, the spread of disciplines and the companies is quite large. And however, we are not a startup funding organization. We expect the company to already have some revenue and capacity to carry over the project. We have now 6 years of operation and about 200 funded projects. And about 90% of the doctors who complete this 1+1 year period are permanently employed by the company. Finally, I want to congratulate the recipients of Nokia Foundation scholarships and Jorma Ollila grants. I wish you successful studies and a successful career after graduation. Thank you.
We'll now move on to the panel discussion. Yrjö, congratulations once again for your Nokia Foundation Recognition Award.
Thank you.
And a big thank you for the tireless work you have taken in strengthening the relationship between doctoral students and the Finnish industry. This is a central theme for our panel discussion today. So I welcome you, Sari, Pekka,
Thank
you.
and Yrjö to this discussion. I have a few questions from myself and also questions that were submitted by the audience beforehand. But before we get started, let me give you a bit of background. First, about the doctoral students. So we know that approximately 1,800 doctors graduate in Finland every year. Of them, roughly 1/3 graduate in engineering, computer science, telecommunication, and basic sciences. We also learned from Yrjö's speech that there were around 1,500 doctors working in the ICT industry and 4,000 doctors working in all engineering domains or fields of engineering in our country. To give you a comparison, compared to all employees in the Finnish industries, which is around 350,000, this number seems low number. It's around 1%. So my first question to you is, how do we get more PhDs in the Finnish industry? Yrjö, would you like to be the first one to answer?
Okay, let me start. First of all, I must say that there is no silver bullet solving this problem, and it takes time. What can be done and what should be done is to make sure that the companies and the universities are collaborating and know each other, and doctors really are important there, because that is the only way how we can get the newest developments in science into the industry. So they are kind of intermediaries and quite important. Their presence in many different programs, projects, education, help in the academia, in the universities, is something that has to be taken seriously. Conferences can be also organizing those. Many things like this.
So we need to be engaging from both sides in many of the programs, joint programs between industry and academia. Yes. All right. Sari, what's your point of view?
Well, I agree with what Yrjö said, and perhaps the important thing is that like Yrjö said, that it's important that people get to know each other, because if you don't know, then difficult to collaborate. But it's important to get involved and engaged with the students early on through sort of education, company people participating in lecturing, giving project teams and perhaps internships as well. And then once sort of this kind of relationship starts building, it's also easier for the researchers, which they are at that point when they are doing doctoral studies. It's easier for the people then perhaps come back to the company they have done internships. So very practical things.
Right. So building the connections early on.
Building the connections early on. Yeah.
So Pekka, how do we get PhDs in Nokia, and is it important to get PhDs to Nokia?
Yes, it is extremely important, and I would say that the foundation to this is, of course, exactly what both Sari and Yrjö here mentioned, that it is cooperation between business and academia. I have one very good and concrete example on this, and that is the Nokia Veturi program, which is actually addressing this. It's a research program that consists of 13 different research initiatives, and it has created an ecosystem with over 100 partners from areas like heavy industries, energy, mining, water management, how to digitalize these industries. This is a very concrete area where academia and business can cooperate. On top of this, we have two things that I would like to mention, which are specific to Finland that we need to address. And the first one is permitting, work permits for skilled non-Finns if they want to come to Finland. 75% of the Finnish companies are currently experiencing problems getting enough skilled employees on all levels, and this very much applies to the highest PhD levels as well. This is one thing, and the other thing is then when we talk about the academic side in Finland, it's very important that the universities continue to specialize. Technology is brutally competitive, and we need to have universities that go after global technology leadership in their selected fields.
Exactly. So we need to build these technology business ecosystems in these research programs, as you said. And also we have seen today that we have recipients of the Nokia scholarships from nationalities from Europe, Asia, and South America as well. So very important that they get to continue in the Finnish industry.
Yeah.
Yrjö.
Maybe one could still a bit more emphasize the importance of having kind of big national programs in creating this kind of close collaboration. We have had those, and sometimes they have been rather short-living sometimes, and not that successful always. But that is one way of really taking it in a big way and really putting time and effort and funding in that. Because this is a very long-term challenge for us. We cannot solve it in 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year time. It's long, but it really requires persistence.
Very good. Yes. Yes, research is a long-term business indeed.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Hey, let's continue the discussion on another important topic: cooperation between industry and academia. Research, exactly as Yrjö said, requires long-term commitments from both parties, and it also requires funding for the research. Without going into details, we know that some industry advocates in Finland have said that we should increase the level of R&D funding in our country. It's currently at the level of 3% of GDP. People think that it should be at 4% at least. But there are also other important aspects, like providing the industrial context to the research programs and the vision for the collaboration. So my second question to you is that how do we foster cooperation between industry and universities? Sari, would you like to start this time?
I can start, but I think it goes pretty much to the same kind of things that we spoke about a moment ago, and that is that it's important that people get to know each other, because very often it may be so that people within the industry are not aware about all the capabilities that may exist within the universities and within the research team. So I think that is kind of a starting point. And then, of course, again, getting these young, competent, talented, eager people to work in the companies in different kind of research programs and in that way building the concrete human relationships. So that it's something that we all need to do something about. It's something that industry needs to do, but it's also something where academia needs to be active on. So that's what I would like to say with regards to that.
And we actually compete of the talent even in Finland.
Absolutely.
As Yrjö pointed out in his presentation, the number of doctors has actually grown in the startup side. Yes.
Yes. Startups and private sector is where they go.
Yeah. Hey, Pekka, is industry-academia cooperation working well for Nokia, and how do we improve it even further?
Well, I'm sure it even though I would say that it is working fairly well, but it can always improve. I mentioned the Veturi program, which is a program in Finland, which is actually going really, really well. If I may give another example, which is not in Finland, I had the pleasure of visiting Glasgow University a couple of weeks ago, where we have excellent research collaboration with their communications technology laboratory. There is an eager professor whom I met, and he and his students who were all there. They presented actually for me personally the first experience of a real-time hologram video call over 5G at both ends. It was a mind-boggling experience, and we have very close collaboration with them. We are providing exactly the industrial context and use cases that what this could mean to industrial digitalization. To your question that are we investing enough in Finland, I think the very clear answer is no. Actually, I think that that you mentioned 3% of GDP. It's actually I think it's slightly below that. Sweden is slightly above that. We are doing fine within EU, but this is not going to be enough if we want to make it in the world. So the official target that Finland has, which is 4% by 2030 and 5% by 2033, I think these are great targets. So we need to keep on raising the bar.
Agreed. Hey, Yrjö, you mentioned about those long-term commitments in university industry cooperation. So what could those be? And how does cooperation work from your point of view?
Okay, let me first go briefly back to the PODOCO program, because it's kind of interesting to notice that about 50% of the applicants are foreign students. So we really have to take care of those, so that they whatever problems they might have in setting up, staying here, but we should try to really solve that. And then what was the
the question was about that how do we foster cooperation between industry and the universities, and especially what could those long-term commitments be?
There could be kind of long-term research collaboration between the university and the company and the companies, and that would be extremely important from that point of view. Quite a lot of the basic research is basic research, but eventually it becomes such that it can be applied in the industry also. But then it's very late. It's way too late if you at that phase wake up. We should be interested in what the universities do. So universities and companies should collaborate much earlier phase, so that this interface works. It's a big change.
Yeah. What do you think about PhD programs, industrial PhD programs? Could they be?
They could be. Yeah. I'm not sure. It should be a bit more carefully thought. These kind of things, number of these kind of activities are probably needed. Yeah. But this is not an easy problem to solve.
All right.
But the long-term commitment from both sides and live connections across this, eliminating the border.
How long is long-term?
It has to be continuous. It has to be continuous and really 10 years.
One good example on this one, the question that what is long-term, is of course 6G, which is now in a basic research phase, and that is expected to hit commercial markets around 2030. But it is already now in research.
Yes.
Another case is quantum computing.
Sure.
Because that is now in the research phase, but suddenly starts to be alive.
Yeah.
From the industrial point of view.
Exactly.
And quantum computing could hit the market at the same time as 6G in 2030.
And those two could actually have a lot of synergies with each other.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
But the question is then, how prepared is industry to take this move?
All right.
Good questions.
We say Pekka very.
Of course, we want to be extremely prepared, but this is the challenge, of course, that industries are always facing is to how to find the right balance between short-term. Very short-term is the next quarter. If you're a listed company, you need to satisfy your investors. Then the mid-term, which may be 1, 2, 3, 4 years when you talk about your strategies. And then very importantly, you do need to allocate some of your funding to long-term stuff, as we, for example, at Nokia are doing through Bell Labs.
Exactly.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Very good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, today we are at the annual event of Nokia Foundation. So let's move to a third topic, which is about the role of foundations in supporting research and development, and especially those foundations that are focusing on technical sciences and ICT, because there are many other foundations in Finland as well. So when we compare the amount of grants provided by Nokia Foundation to the total amount of funding provided by the Finnish foundations to support the technical sciences, and that's about 20 million, and Nokia Foundation provides around 500,000 every year. We can see that the Nokia Foundation is a significant actor in supporting technical sciences, and particularly in ICT research. There is probably room to improve in the role of foundations in Finland, But again, the right focus and the right strategy is key for foundations as well. So my third question is that which role should foundations, especially the Nokia Foundation, play in technology research? May I ask that question first from Sari?
You may. Well, perhaps I go back to what was just discussed and this sort of short term on one hand, where you need to bring something quickly to the market and make it into a business, and then the longer term requirement. And as was discussed earlier, what we have a problem in Finland is that we are not investing sufficiently into R&D, and perhaps not especially into building the long-term technological leadership. And this is an area where the foundations can play a role, sort of finance some of the maybe wilder ideas and bit longer-term horizon ideas where the aim is not to have short-term economic impact or not to have short-term products or offerings coming out. So that's how I would see that, and I think there's definitely a need for that in Finland right now.
Okay. So foundations could take a longer-term view. Yes.
And also perhaps sort of because like Pekka said, companies always have also this that you sort of have to think about the shareholders and all of that. So maybe a little bit sort of bolder risks and perhaps sort of a bit wilder ideas also could be supported.
Right. Thank you. So Yrjö, can I ask the question or do you want to reflect?
No, I was just one idea that Nokia Foundation alone is okay. It's an important player, but alone it is relatively small. So we should have something bigger, organized that where the number of foundations and maybe some other sources are collaborating and really in a consistent way over the years. That would be, then it would make an impact.
Okay. Yeah. But you actually spoke about several foundations in your keynote speech today, so you know them very well. So what could be such themes for long-term collaboration where foundations could work together?
That doesn't exist yet. Okay, we have the postdocs in companies program, which is working quite well, and the results are pretty good. I mean, those doctors who finish the two-year phase, 90% of those are employed by the company. So the system works. But it is a relatively small player if you think about the big problem. So more of that then.
Right. Okay.
Pooling resourcing and sort of commonly working on certain areas. Absolutely.
The other interesting point about this Podoko is that we have also many foundations that are in literature of social sciences, so medical areas. But surprisingly, there can be interest also, if you think about the future, that these kind of foundations can also play a role for companies like Nokia, helping them in the future challenges.
Right. Okay.
It's not only technology.
Yep. True.
Good point. Yeah. Good point. So maybe Nokia Foundation should reach out to other foundations.
Or you could maybe join Podoko.
Join Podoko, yes. Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Hey, Pekka, in your speech you spoke about some grand challenges of our time. So do you think foundations should take an active role in solving those challenges or which roles foundations should take in general?
Of course, it's very clear that this long-term ability to take a long-term view is the key advantage that the foundations have. Of course, the public sector can also take a similar role, but this will not work without private foundations. And of course, I mean, of all the challenges that the world is facing, climate change is one of the biggest ones. And when you think about what is needed, we should roughly cut our emissions in half in the 2020s, then cut them again in half in the 30s, and once again in half in the 40s to even have a hope to get to or stay within 1.5 degrees. Now, most of the technologies that are needed to do the first 50% cut start to be fairly known. Now we just need to get the right economic incentives for investment and so on. But then for the two following 50% reductions. We don't yet have all the technologies, and this is but to me this is one of the most important areas where long-term research is needed and where foundations can play a role.
Existential.
Yeah. All right. Hey, those are quite good grand challenges for foundations to solve as well. All right. Hey, a final panel question relates to the importance of technology research, as this is central to the mission of Nokia Foundation. World's largest companies are technology companies, and the technological development is not only driving growth in our economies, but it will also offer solutions to more sustainable lifestyle. My fourth and last question to you is, what does technology leadership mean to you? Why is technology leadership important? And I know, Pekka, you have been speaking about technology leadership. So would you like to start this time?
I love to start because this is clearly my favorite topic. First of all, it's so inspirational when you go after technology leadership. It's truly something that you can see that drives people and their motivation when they set new and new goals all the time. But it's not only that. If I connect this to my previous answer and the connection between technology and some of the biggest problems the world is facing, not only climate change, that being the biggest one probably, but also things like biodiversity, unequal access to opportunity, education, health, and so on. This is extremely important, and that's why we as a company have said it very clearly that in all those sectors where we play, we need to go after technology leadership. It is the only way to be successful. But I believe that when you connect technology leadership to not only what the technology itself does, but how we can make the world a better place with the help of technology, that's how you can create the kind of deeper meaning for your work and the motivation that we know that a bigger and bigger part of the new talent that we need to attract to our organizations is actually appreciating much more than the very content of the work itself.
Right. So it's not only about being better than others. I mean, that's important, but
it's
also
about purpose, being able to be purposeful and kind of give yourself a reason that why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Not only technology, but what is the role of technology in the world?
And doing the right thing. Yeah. Yes. Hey, Yrjö, you worked in technology for a long time, also in Nokia in the past. So what does technology leadership mean to you?
I took it kind of rather personal thinking about that. I feel that the technology leader has to be a kind of respected company, playing fair play across the world, and kind of having kind of that kind of attitude. That kind of belongs to the character of a good technology leader. And
yeah, it's actually what Pekka was.
It was the same, essentially the same thing. But.
Yes. Very good. Hey, I'd like to give the final word to you, Sari, about the technology leadership. So how do you see technology leadership? Is it important?
It is extremely important, and perhaps I take what these two gentlemen so eloquently already said to the level of country, to Finland. Because like Yrjö, you said that in order for the sort of company to be a leader in technology, there needs to be sort of good way of doing things, and Pekka was talking about not only climate change but also inequality and all of this. And when we think about Finland is well educated. We have good equality here, and so I think that we can be a great example in the world, sort of, or proud example of the world in terms of technology leadership based on those values that we have, and help the world to build sort of better societies and better environments for everybody. So I see the role of technology extremely important there, but like Yrjö was saying, it's not only and Pekka also, not only just technology, but how it's applied and how it's used. And there we need other sciences in that as well to keep that understanding. Long answer, but extremely important for Finland, extremely important for me personally, and it's extremely important that we keep investing in those capabilities for the future of this country.
Thank you, Sari, Pekka, and Yrjö. It's been a great pleasure to have this panel discussion with you.
Thank you, Hannu.
Thank you.
We'll now move on to the final part of the Nokia Foundation Awards Ceremony. Let me once again congratulate all of this year's scholarship and grant receivers. I would also like to thank our foundation officers, Dr. Sami Sarpala and Mrs. Leena Tanner, for their professional work in the daily management of the foundation, guided by our board of directors. Furthermore, I want to thank all of you who have voluntarily contributed to the Nokia Foundation. Coming back to the Nokia Foundation's mission to promote and sponsor scientific research and education in the field of information and communication technologies in Finland. Our founders deliberately and very sensibly selected this broad mission statement because technology is a fast-changing environment, and it means we are able to refocus the foundation's activities and funding to ensure we deliver the maximum possible positive benefit to the academic community, to Finnish industry and society. At Foundation, we are interested in your ideas of this impact. Where is the need and the demand for funding? Which new programs should be established and require support? How can we ensure that, as discussed today at the panel, the knowledge created in these research programs will be used for the benefit of our society, in academia, in industry, and in governmental organizations? I personally believe that the best way to transfer knowledge is to ensure the mobility of the people who have created this knowledge and to offer opportunities for them. Please send your feedback and ideas to the Nokia Foundation board at nokia.foundation@nokia.com. Our board will evaluate them and will get back to you. This is my call to action to all of you. Help Nokia Foundation to create impact. Thank you for following our ceremony virtually. I wish all of you a very good and successful end of the year. I hope to meet as many of you as possible, hopefully in person next year.
The world is facing fundamental challenges. The planet under pressure, productivity stalling, opportunity stubbornly unequal. Technology is central to the answer. With our customers, we create the critical networks that bring together the world's people, machines, and devices, using and reusing the world's resources more efficiently to be more productive, inclusive, and open. Bringing digital to the world's heavy industries, connecting families and colleagues at unprecedented scale, enabling access to work, healthcare, markets, and education. Sensing and acting in real time, helping the world act together.